2016 year, right? You're on the other side now of a 3-1 comeback. You're with Cleveland. You guys are down 3-1 to the 73-win Golden State Warriors. Steph and Clay and Draymond, right? What was y'all belief system at that moment? Talk to us about that mindset of battling back, being down 3-1, where people say it can't be done and it won't be done. Y'all facing that adversity.
That adversity, I was ultra confident. Prior to that, in the conference finals, I had went over to T. Lue's house and he was working on his scout, but he was peeping like the Golden State. And he was like, I found a way how we gonna beat Golden State. I was like, we ain't finished this one. I found a way how we gonna beat Golden State. I was like, we ain't finished this one.
I found a way how we gonna beat Golden State. I was like, we ain't finished this one.
He's like, we locked into this, but like, I found how are we gonna beat them. He had his game plan, starting his game plan for Golden State at that point in time. And he broke it down into two things, like when Draymond is pushing the ball, like his primary role is to find shooters. He doesn't finish well at the rim. So that's part of our game plan and how we gonna guard splits. We do these two things, we gonna beat them. I'm trying to tell you, we gonna beat them. Like, all right, cool. So we get into that series and that was our game plan. And we could look over the tape and see that like we would do it for 46 minutes and we'd be up. And then that 2-minute breakdown, and then that's how they win the game. Or we do it for 38 minutes and we were up. And that was the brain. Those two game plan mistakes. If we could do these two things the way we're supposed to, on top of what we do already, we gonna win. So you got the ultra competitive Bron, who, like, I told this story before though, but like we were in Golden State, and we always eat dinner like as a teammates before, and Bron was like, "Yeah, I'll be right back." Where you going? Ron go to Four Seasons health club and start getting on the VersaClimber. Like right before game, is it 5, 6? Like he go, I gotta simulate my first quarter. What? Like he come back sweating, eat his meal like he was locked in.
Yeah.
Kai on a whole nother level. Like we weren't rattled because we knew it was game plan mistakes. If you break it down on the film, once we get those, we just take it game by game. Game plan mistakes. We get those done. We got our first one, and we did it 48 minutes. So then it's like just wash and repeat. Like just do it again, and we did it again. It boiled all the way down to just game plan. Like just you win one game, all right, let's just do it again, and just take all the noise. That whole thing that I even said this too before, like the social media thing. Like when Bron go dark, he don't see all the noise of what everybody's saying or the numbers or like. He's dark. He's not watching news. He's not watching ESPN. He's dark to all that. So it's just basketball and what we got to get done. And you just took one game in itself. And then Draymond got kicked out the other one, and we took another game. And then at that point in time, the momentum's in your favor. Right. They just trying not to lose. They're not trying to win. They just trying not to lose. And it got real shaky. Then you find yourself on Father's Day, a 12 o'clock game in Golden State for the NBA championship. Like, it's you could never
couldn't script it any better than that. Huh? Couldn't script it any better than that.
It was like the dopest thing in the world, and their backs are against the wall because they've been down 3-1. Like all the momentum's in our favor.
The rapper Nas said it best. Yo, all I need is one mic. It seems like nowadays in the podcast era, all you have to do is put a mic in front of anyone. Make them feel comfortable, and the truth will come out. Now, I appreciate Dahntay Jones, who was LeBron James' former teammate during the 2016 Cavs championship run. You know, I truly respect and appreciate his honesty, whether he's doing this unknowingly or not. But I think the truth accidentally slipped out. But I appreciate his honesty in so many ways, you know, for admitting that the RBA finals was rigged. And the reason why I appreciate his truthfulness is because another one of LeBron James' teammates during that Cavs championship run was Richard Jefferson, who played clueless. And I ain't talking about the movie, but he played clueless and tried to act like he had no idea that the Cavs would pull a 3-1 comeback in a previous interview that he did. Now, Dahntay Jones has a completely different story from Richard Jefferson's. Parts of Dahntay Jones' story seems to be more direct, truthful, detailed and he gets into the specifics, especially when he mentioned how he went to the coach at the time of that finals run and Tyronn Lue. He went to his house and Tyronn Lue had already been pre-planning, watching film of the Golden State Warriors, admitting to looking past the Eastern Conference Finals and was just patiently waiting for the Golden State Warriors series, which in other words mean we already knew we was going to win. The fix was already in. The league knew it. We knew it. This light work. This easy work. Easy work. We're already preparing for the Golden State Warriors series. Matter of fact, we already celebrated the victory back in the locker room before we came out on the game floor for tip-off. But he then goes deeper into story mode and talks about how LeBron James had this so-called Mamba moment. And this is why I get a sense that LeBron James pays his teammates to fabricate these fairy tale stories in front of the camera about how LeBron James does all these so-called unconventional rituals to get in the game mode to make him seem like this mythical god, and he does things beyond the norm, but it just doesn't feel authentic. Like when Kobe Bryant teammates and other players tell Kobe Bryant stories, it just doesn't seem genuine. Like, just think about it. Supposedly LeBron James is so locked in. LeBron James is eating at a restaurant because he's so locked in. He then leaves that restaurant just to go work out. He goes to a fitness gym and has this intense workout. So you mean to tell me he went and worked out, his clothes is drenched in sweat, he sits back down with these wet clothes, don't take no shower, because I know you ain't take a shower. I know you ain't took a shower that quick. But you mean to tell me he did all of that because he's so locked in? Man, somebody please find me the biggest head, because that's cap, ladies and gentlemen. Pure capitry. He also spoke about how dark LeBron James is and how LeBron James goes dark. He's not paying attention to the media, what's being said about him, which is a complete lie. We all know that LeBron James pays attention to everything. He's very sensitive, but LeBron James, he'll have a much easier time watching what's being said about him because the media is going to protect him anyway. But we all know how dark LeBron James is. That's why I given him the name Le Devil James. So for all the LeBron James fans who get bothered when we speak on rumors that we heard LeBron James could have potentially sacrificed Kobe Bryant allegedly, this should be enough evidence for you right here. He's dark. Now, this was the highlight of the interview for me, when Dahntay Jones confirmed that it was actually the suspension of Draymond Green that swung the momentum the Cavs' way, which we already knew. However, the delusional bronzesexuals tried to convince us that it wasn't the momentum and that Draymond Green getting suspended played no role in the Cavs coming back. It was just how great LeBron James was. The bronzesexuals, they probably don't even know what momentum is. They probably think it's some kind of a laxative type medicine, something that you take when you got stomach aches or something. Almost like momentous, but momentum. But I even had a guy tell me that momentum only works in football. I said, what? But anyway, he also spoke about how Tyronn Lue was scouting the Warriors and how Tyronn Lue was just so sure that they would defeat the Golden State Warriors. He was so confident because of Draymond Green deficiencies, as far as Draymond Green not being able to finish well at the rim. But I'm like, oh my God, bro, like, let's be freaking real here, people. Let's try to make some sense of this. So because Draymond Green isn't great at finishing at the rim, gave you confidence to believe that y'all can defeat the Golden State Warriors in the RBA finals? This how you know they're lying. What gave you confidence that you could defeat the Golden State Warriors was scouting the most non-threatening offensive player in RBA history, in Draymond Green. So you're not preparing for Draymond Green, the defender, their anchor. You're more worried about Draymond Green offensively? Shouldn't you be more worried about two of the greatest shooters of all time in Steph Curry and Klay Thompson? Like, make that make sense. Wouldn't that sound more believable if they strategize against the Warriors? Wouldn't you focus more on where Draymond Green is at a disadvantage defensively in terms of defensive switches, so you could get the best of the Golden State Warriors? So then Dahntay Jones goes on to say that their game plan going into the series was actually working, but when they got away from the game plan, that's when they started losing. So you mean to tell me that y'all couldn't stick to the game plan long enough to win more than just one game early in the finals? Obviously the game plan wasn't good enough and you just needed to scratch the game plan altogether, because if it was a good game plan, the series would have been a lot closer and it would have been more competitive. But the truth of the matter is, y'all had no game plan, and the only thing that y'all could resort to was getting Draymond Green suspended and purposely injuring Andrew Bogut. But that's why it's important to listen to every word when these athletes speak, right? But you gotta read in between the lines. You know, they'll hint and subliminally reveal that the RBA is scripted, especially when you heard Paul George say, oh, you couldn't have scripted a better story. You couldn't have. The story was perfectly written, and that's why it seems too good to be true, because it is. It's a fairy tale written story, but the script seems to go much deeper than what's on the surface. And as I was digging deeper into history, I also learned that not only did LeBron James and the Cavs come back from being down 3-1, this also marked the first time since 1978 that a Game 7 was won by the road team. And what's odd is that the team who accomplished that feat before the Cleveland Cavaliers were the Washington Wizards back in 1978. Ironically, the MVP of the finals was a basketball legend by the name of Wes Unseld. And Wes Unseld just so happens to be the godfather of the basketball player Kevin Love, who played for that Cavaliers team, who was a part of history. We're the second team since the Wizards to win a Game 7 on the road.